Welcome and welcome back, YouTube family. I have Zaire here, and as you can see, we are completely taken out. His hair is soft. I have just shampooed his hair. We have gotten out all of his locks, and I'm going to show you how I did it. Okay, this is a long journey, but I was able to break it down and condense it into 12 minutes maybe. So follow the journey and let me show you what I did. But before we get started, let me just give a shout out to AYURVEDIC products. I did use their Crystal Clear Cleanse and their Moisture Max Deep Condition, and they're both pretty much empty. And that's how I was able to get his hair to come back to life, because I honestly could not have done this without those products. So stay tuned. Go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, so that maybe this will help someone else. So let's just go ahead and get into the video. Let's go. So this is what 6 months looks like without me doing my son's hair. And I know it looks awful, but look at that. That is a full lock. We have full locks in his hair. We also got about 5.5 inches of growth, so I think that's good at least. But now I have to figure out how to get all these locks out of this boy's hair. Look at this. This is a job, so let's get to it. So this was not my fault. He actually did not want his hair done, and he really gave me the worst time with doing his hair since he was out of school. Let me tell you what's in this bottle, okay? It's baking soda, apple cider vinegar, some conditioner, water, and then I put something else in here that I think made all of the difference as far as the slip goes and getting this out. And that is slippery elm, y'all. So slippery elm is something that I've been using since back in the late 90s to take locks out. And I've always found that it breaks it down. It makes it a little slimy. You know, a lot of people don't like to touch it, but it does make all of the difference. Now you see me spraying this on and it kind of foaming up. Keep in mind that I do have baking soda and vinegar in here, so that's definitely gonna be what makes it foam up. And I wanted to show you some of this in real time and how tedious it was. It was taking forever, and this is only day one, so I literally had to poke and prod at each braid, and there was, I believe, 24 braids. I'm switching over to a detangling. This is what I use for lock detangling, and that's what this comb is used for. So it can really help out with those hard areas that are really stuck in his hair. And it's very tedious. However, we got it done, and we had to keep moving forward. He was not happy through this whole process, but I told him that he really needed to let me do what I needed to do to get this out, because they have been stuck in front of the TV throughout this whole pandemic and watching TV and playing games, and basically it's been 6 months. So as you can see, the ends are not as hard to take down, but it did take a while to take those down as well. So let's keep watching and see where this goes. Now the process you see me doing here, it's actually a real technique. It's called needling. So what happens is I basically take the needle and poke it through the locked hair. And this process actually breaks down the dirt matter in the tangled hair and allows the concoction conditioner that I put on his hair to kind of get through and do its job. So each braid had to be needled. And you can see right here where the dirt and the matted is. So I continue to spray, I continue to needle, and let everything get very saturated so that the concoction can do its job. And it's been several hours already. As you can see, there's one twist in the front. As I took them down, I twisted them, and it's taking several hours per lock or braid, whatever you want to call it. It's taking several hours to get it done. So that's basically why he went from looking vibrant to falling asleep as I work. So every time I get out a little bit of the matting, you'll see me go back to the top and comb down. Because his hair's grown so much and it was already at waist length, this became very tedious going back and forth up and down his hair just to get all the tangles and mat out. Because I could not wash his hair with these tangles and mats, or it would have been more of a hassle. So every time I comb through, I get a large amount of hair. I mean, this boy literally lost more hair than I had on my entire head. It was just ridiculous how much he lost in such a short amount of time. And like every time you see me go back up and comb down, that was another chunk of hair. And he still isn't missing any hair. So just keep in mind that our hair sheds about 120 strands a day, and his basically did not get to do that for 6 months. So that's what I'm getting out, and he's asking for a break at this point. So I'm just letting him know, let me finish just a little bit more before you take that break. And yeah, so I'm twisting it up, and he's feeling a little bit better that I'm actually able to get through them. So I kept moving for as long as I had. On day one, I think we worked for about 7 hours, y'all. 7 full hours. So yeah, we were both exhausted by the end of this process.
Day 2 is what I love.
I actually feel so good about this. This is day 2, and although the end of this one was easy to take out, I can honestly tell you that this was the hardest lock that I had to take out of his head. This lock took about 2.5 hours to get just this one out, because it was so matted all the way down. It had about 8 to 9 inches of mat, and you'll just see me spray the hell out of it, massage it in, needle it some more. It was just a process for this one, so it just took forever. Like literally at some points the needle part would not even go through. But yeah, it was a process on this particular one, y'all. The dirt, I don't know if he sleeps on this side or if he just rubbed his hair in dirt on this particular side, but it was a lot to do to get this done. And then as I went, I had to constantly comb down. So I also note that his edges were, the edges of his hair, because he doesn't have edges really, were a lot harder than I thought to get out because they were so small. And I still got an equal amount of hair loss in each one. So we worked fairly quickly. The day before, I did spray all of his hair down with this conditioning concoction, and it made it so much easy once it soaked in. So these were fairly easy to take out, so that was a good thing as well.
Each braid literally takes 1 hour and 30 minutes to take apart. Welcome back. This is the third day and hopefully the final day of this lock takedown.
So we are actually down to the last lock, okay, because that's what I'm calling them at this point. And I must say that we lost so much hair, it looked like we lost a full bird's nest. It's been ridiculous. The process has been ridiculous. These braids were fairly small, as you can tell, and I realized that most of the matting, especially in the back, occurred within the last 6 to 8 inches of hair. So just keep in mind that this video clip, most of them are sped up, so it's looking like it's fairly easy, but it's not. And you can actually watch the dirt and the matted hair kind of clump up in my comb, as like literally this was taking so much time to get done. It looks fast, but trust me, it was a true process as a whole. Right here you can see I'm getting to where it gets rough, and it's like that with every braid, and there was 26 braids. So I am all of the braids had the opportunity to soak throughout the duration of this process, and it did take, like I said, 3 days to get the entire head done. So I've already needled it, I've already saturated it, and now I am taking this apart a little bit at a time, and it's giving me hell at this point. So I am continuously taking out this braid, and you can see again I've sped it up, but I wanted you to see what I like to call webbing of the hair. And what the webbing is basically where the hair is so tangled and matted. You see how I'm pulling it apart? I literally had to separate every bit of hair like that. So I separated, I pulled apart, and I continue to move forward. But this is the last braid, and I just really wanted you to see the process a little bit better. And as you can see, the comb is starting to build up with the hair. The clumping is unreal. And although I've just gotten this braid out as of right about now, I still had to comb through all of this and then wash it. It's been a process. I thank you all for hanging in there. Please go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and follow along his journey. If you want to see what happens, let me know. This is a picture of what he looks like after everything has happened. You saw all of that hair, but thank you so much for joining us.